Hi, I hope all is well with you and that you're staying safe. This week, we're learning Parshas Bo, where we learn that before Bnei Israel left Mitzrayim, they were commanded with a number of mitzvos. The very first mitzvah was Kiddush HaChodesh, sanctifying the new moon. Secular society bases their calendar on the sun, whereas Bnei Israel bases their calendar and the Chagim on the moon. And there are many lessons that we can learn from the fact that we base our calendar on the moon. To me, perhaps one of the most important lessons is the fact that just as the moon waxes and wanes, so too throughout our very difficult history, there have been times that we were in a situation that most of the nations of the world felt that it was the end, chas v'shalom, of Klal Yisrael. Nevertheless, through tremendous siyata d'shmaya and help from the Rabboni Shalom, we managed to re-emerge and to grow greater than we were before the persecutions. Just look in our fairly recent history after the Holocaust, the tragedy that took place. And I've always pointed out the fact that as catastrophic as Corona is and has been throughout the entire world, there have been approximately 5 million people that unfortunately lost their lives. But we're talking about 5 million people from the entire world. In the Holocaust, we lost 6 million Jews, even more than have been lost through this terrible pandemic. Just to give us an understanding, a glimpse of the tragedy that befell Klal Yisrael. But nevertheless, from the ashes, we're Baruch Hashem B'li are strong, with more Torah learning today than has been, they say, for thousands of years, more yeshivos. The Jewish people are growing. The state of Israel, which is 70, 74 years old, is growing in leaps and bounds. And Baruch Hashem, the developments are on a daily basis. And it's only through the siyata d'shmaya that we've received that. But I think on a personal level, learning from the moon teaches us that as far as we as individuals perhaps may have fallen, we're not machines, we're not perfect. And there are times in our lives that we've let down. We've disappointed ourselves and we've disappointed the Rabboni Shalom. Nevertheless, the Rabboni Shalom never turns his back on us, never ceases to love us, and is always ready to receive us when we go back to him and do tshuva. We see even from this parsha, that lesson where when Moshe Rabbeinu commands Klal Yisrael to take the Korban Pesach, to prepare the Korban Pesach, the lashon of the pasuk is mishchu, to withdraw. And Rashi points out that that word mishchu, withdraw, was telling Klal Yisrael, withdraw from avodah zarah. If you're going to worship the Rabboni Shalom, you can't have it both ways. If you want to take the Korban Pesach, to prepare the Korban Pesach, mishchu, withdraw your hands from avodah zarah, which Klal Yisrael did. And a few psukim later, we learn how they left Mitzrayim with no provisions, willing to follow their Rabboni Shalom with tremendous bitachon that he would take care of them. And all they had was the dough, which didn't have enough time to rise. And I think that lesson is so important for us because we live in very, very difficult times, but we all want to try to continue to move in a positive direction. But there are times that we falter. We have to remember the Rabboni Shalom is always ready for us to return. And there's no concept that a person has fallen so far that they can't return. We all have tremendous potential. Every individual has within them the potential of greatness. We just have to be willing to work, to be committed, to stay focused, and to try to do the best that we possibly can do. That's all the Rebbe Shalom wants us to do. He doesn't want us to build hospitals. He doesn't necessarily want us to come up with a cure for cancer. He wants us to be the best that we can possibly be as individuals. And if we do that, there is nobody that is greater. That's all he wants from us, that we look into ourselves to see how great we can become and to bring that greatness to the fore. So Mitzvah Hashem, Be'ezrat Hashem, we should have the strength of character and the willingness to do what we're supposed to do, to constantly move in a positive direction, to be better today than we were yesterday, and better tomorrow than we are today. Have a wonderful day and a meaningful Shabbos.